What's good, people? It's about that time to randomly relate, reverse rant, hate. So, two people I want to talk about, two different situations. First thing I want to say is, once again, salute to Savannah Marshall for putting on one hell of a fight against Clarissa Shields. Okay, somebody has to win, somebody has to lose. I've seen several videos where people are trying to make excuses when Savannah Marshall herself isn't making any, which would not create a lane of truth and facts if they did do it. But Savannah Marshall, she thanked the fans for coming out and showing support. She said it was an incredible feeling, it was an incredible night, and the right lady won. I'm hearing, oh, Savannah Marshall, listen how ridiculous this is. Savannah Marshall didn't look like herself. She wasn't the same. You know how she's normally real slick, smooth, and sleek, and she wasn't those things against Clarissa Shields. Oh, if they had 3-minute rounds, I'm sure she would have beat Clarissa Shields. Look, first off, that's ridiculously stupid. One, every female who's entered a professional boxing ring has fought 2-minute rounds. Every reason that you thought Savannah Marshall would beat Clarissa Shields was done in 2-minute rounds. Everything that she gets credit for and that she's accomplished as a female pro boxer was done within 2-minute rounds. The same as Clarissa Shields and every other female fighter. What in the hell does an extra minute have to do with the outcome of her performance? Okay, first off, if the females want to go 3 minutes around, fine. The best way that any female fighter can benefit from 3-minute rounds is the same as the men. Okay, is if they are, one person is in much better shape than the other to be able to go further. As they get tired, they can keep going. Don't start making excuses. They've already started. Stop making excuses and making fools out of yourselves and putting lies and false narratives out. She didn't look sleek and slick. I'm going to tell you why. This was the same Savannah Marshall that we always seen. The reason why she didn't look the same against Clarissa Shields is because Clarissa Shields is different. Okay? The girls that she fought, the women that she fought, that she was able to do that against, she was better than them. She was capable of doing it with them. I said she's not going to be able to do that same thing against Shields. How she fights with her hands down and be, sticking her face out and all that, swinging her arm. I told you it was going to be a different strategy because they both knew what was at risk, what was at stake, and we're going to go in there and do the best we can, and we're not going to leave any room for unnecessary mistakes. She didn't look as slick and sleek because she was in there someone that was a better boxer than she is. It's just simple. So even when you say, well, Shields, she just went to a whole other level. No, this is the same Shields you always saw. It's just that if you thought Savannah was going to win, you thought she was the better fighter, and it turns out, no, she wasn't. It's not about what I said or what anybody else said. It's about the reality. And what I spoke of is what I felt like I saw with both fighters. It was a hell of a fight. And you have people that will try to taint it by making up stupid, ignorant excuses. She didn't look the same. Well, yeah, it's different when you step up in competition. And what Clarissa Shields has accomplished, what she's done in in boxing, it speaks for itself. Both of them were champions. They came in that ring to fight, and basically somebody had to win, somebody had to lose, as I said earlier. If Clarissa Shields had got knocked out, if the fight would have went the same way, but let's say she just got knocked out, let's say the last round, you would have heard the greatness in Savannah Marshall. She never kept trying. She kept pressing, kept coming, and she finally got the knockout. We knew Clarissa Shields was the better boxer, but the power that Savannah has. We knew it was only a matter of time that when she catch her, she's going to get rid of her. That's what you would have heard. What basically happened was she got in there with someone that she couldn't outslick. She couldn't out hustle. She couldn't outbox. And I think people had to see it to believe it. Certain people. Just let it go. Just salute both fighters and let it go. Move on. They're talking about because of commercial success, this definitely warrants a third fight. No, you keep talking about a third fight. You keep including this amateur shit. You keep including this amateur fight and trying to make it a part of their legacy. It's you know what? I'm gonna be honest with you. The people that this is coming from, I believe if Shields would have beat Marshall in the amateurs, if she would have got her hand raised, I believe then people would be saying, "Well, that was 10 years ago," and you wouldn't be talking about a third fight. You wouldn't even really credit that because they both are different now. I know where this is coming from, and it's so just stupid to hear people keep saying the same shit, and you can't just say she lost to the better fighter. No matter how many times you try to say it, you have to add a but or add some kind of dumb, unnecessary, what if this, what if that, if this would have happened, if that would have happened. No, it had nothing to do with 3 rounds, 2 rounds. It had nothing to do with the amount of time in a round. Like I said, they make it sound like somehow Claressa magically had 3 minutes and she only had 2 minutes. No, they fought. Simple. Their rematch clause would have been based on if it was a controversial win. There was no controversy. Most people, even diehard Marshall fans, are like, nah, I had it scored 8-2. And I had it scored 8-2. And like I said, I don't know if they gave, I don't know what the final score was. I know I was saying it was 8 rounds to 2. What I was saying is I didn't know if any of the judges gave Marshall the last round, because she did better in the last round. That last round was a little more close than than most of the rounds, put it like that. But I had Shields winning 8 rounds to 2. Where this freaking, she won by a round bullshit. First off, it was a unanimous decision. And it's like, damn, here we go with the salty fanboys that can't just say, hey, look, Claressa did what she had to do. They both went in there, they fought. She got the win. Simple. If, with everything that Claressa Shields accomplished, if that one win is making y'all say, now she is definitely the greatest woman of all time, okay, what would y'all have said if Marshall would have won and she didn't accomplish half of that? But, she beat it in the amateurs too. And this is what I'm saying. People just got to try to throw something at it. Commercial success. It doesn't want a third fight. Now, if it happens, it happens. But no. When you get beat, okay, it was a competitive fight, but by no way, shape, or form was this a close fight. There is no need for a rematch based on the outcome of that fight. They're talking about because it would be a demand for it, they'd both make another huge payday. I get all of that. And like I said, if it happens, it happens. But it's like the reason why they want the rematch so bad is so they can hope she can do something different. Well, I guess maybe now, what do you think Savannah could have did different? And see, from the outside looking in, it's always easier to say what somebody can and can't do, especially when you're thinking with this and not this. Because what happens is you're imagining she's going to do this to her the same way she did to everybody else, which means you didn't give Claressa Shields her just due. You were looking at her like she was going to be just like any other female that Savannah fought, and that she's going to knock Shields out. At least that's what people were hoping. It's all good, whoever you cheering for, whatever. That's not even the issue. But when you get to the point where you want to see something happen so bad, I'll give you a perfect example. Look at what happened with Fury and Wilder in the first fight. Because the fight was called a draw, it was an interest in the fight happening again. Look at what happened after the second fight, though. All of a sudden, we had the glove gate situation, and for the people that was saying Wilder shouldn't fight him again because he's a cheater, versus the people that were saying, nah, he should fight him again so he can get some payback. Then you got the people in the middle saying, Wilder can't beat this guy. If they fight again, Wilder's just going to get his ass kicked again. They fought a third time. Look at what happened to Wilder. So the people who didn't want to see that fight again, that was Wilder fans, is because they knew Wilder can't beat this guy. Then the other set of Wilder fans that was saying he should fight him again so he can get some payback because he cheated, they wanted to believe that narrative. They wanted to make that a reality. He definitely cheated. I'm not talking about the floppy glove so much situation, because listen, I'm nothing that I heard. Yeah, we saw the floppy glove, but that's not even what the focus was. It was no padding in the glove, and the egg weight and all that, the poison, well, all this other stuff, right? But the people who in the middle just know he just can't beat Fury, man. He's gonna have to knock Fury out, and he's proved he can knock him down, but Fury keeps getting up. So what's gonna happen, right? They didn't see the reason for a rematch because it's going to be the same result. If Savannah Marshall and Clarissa Shields had a close fight, and let's just say when you say controversial, it's not just one way. It's several things, it's several different ways it could have went. But bottom line, no, it was a unanimous decision. And although, like I said, it was a good fight, it was not a close fight. It was not a close fight. Just deal with the fact Savannah Marshall lost the fight. That's all. When I start hearing all this other nonsense, it's like, come on, man. Now they talking about longer rounds, and if she had more time, she didn't look like she was herself. Oh, she didn't look the same. They would talk about pressure, and how she wasn't making eye contact with Clarissa Shields. And I'm like, are you serious? So basically, something was bothering her. She wasn't in her right frame of mind. No. She just came across a fighter that was much better than she thought she was. That was not the same fighter as when they fought before. And even though they both may have improved in ways, Clarissa Shields definitely has. And she was in there with someone that she knew was like, damn, okay, this is not easy at all. I thought I was going to be... No, even from that press conference. Now, here's the funny part. People think she was nervous in the ring walk. They thought she was nervous when she was in the ring, and saying how she wasn't making eye contact with her and all this until they came face to face in the ring and all of this. And she, but when I said she didn't look confident, as confident as she said, and that face off, how every time the guy would ask her a question, she'd sit there and just stare and then smile and couldn't even, it was always like a delayed reaction with every question. I said, yeah, I see nervous energy. I don't see her as being as confident as she's speaking, but it is what it is. And yeah, the only way she wins is if she knocks Shields out. Everything comes to fruition in the logical sense that we saw it happening, in this way that we saw it happening, right? And it's over. We can always look back. It was a great fight. You can try to reimagine it a million times. It's going to be the same outcome every time you watch that same fight. And like I said, if they fight in the future, then they fight in the future. But as of now, it is what it is. And as far as, someone brought up Baumgartner and Mayer to me, listen, I don't even care about what you think happened and why people just can't just leave things alone. They keep bringing up the whole, I scored it this way and that way. Well, I scored it the way I scored it. And you know what? Unfortunately for you, you're not a judge. And I'm not a judge either. That it doesn't matter what we scored. I know how I had it scored. And as far as Baumgartner dodging, how is she ducking Mayer? Because she's going after Undisputed. If Mayer had won, Mayer would be going after Undisputed. She would be stupid not to. Why would she beat Baumgartner and then say, okay, let's run it back? The hell with Undisputed. No. That's just more saltiness because Baumgartner got the decision. And like I said, I had her winning by 2 rounds, but she edged her. Nothing was dominant by neither woman. It was a good fight. People say, "Oh, it's boring." No, it wasn't boring to me. It wasn't what people thought it was going to be. because of what they were saying to each other. But like I said, if you've been watching them fight, you know that they're both pure boxers. So you wasn't going to get no fireworks, slugfest type fight. That's what you thought. That's what you wanted. That's not what it was. But how is she dodging her by going after Undisputed? They don't like each other. And of course, Baumgartner is like rubbing it in her face by even saying, nah, I beat her. I'm going on to bigger and better things. Baumgartner already said if she can't get Mayer said if she can't get Baumgartner in the rematch, then she's going to 135. She wants to fight Katie Taylor. Okay. Now, did she just walk into a title fight with Katie Taylor? Did she have to prove herself at 135 first? Who knows? But at the end of the day, your career is not based on one person. Okay? And no, their fight was not contracted where if it's a controversial decision or whatever. But how do you call that controversial? See, that's the whole thing. The fans are not the judges. So what's the controversy? But that's why I say it's more than one way that you can have a controversial decision. I didn't see a robbery. And you know, the thing is, don't be fooled. There's a lot of people that's saying there was no robbery. A lot of people. It's basically just Mayer fans that's saying, nah, Mayer won, she won. Oh, I had her winning 7 rounds to 2, or 7 rounds to 3, or whatever that is. 8 to, no. They're saying she won by the same margin that Claressa won against Marshall. And that's just garbage. There's no way in hell you're going to tell me that Mayer won no damn 7 or 8 rounds. Ain't no way in hell. That's just the whole bitterness inside situation. So, can all of that. Every one of those women went there, despite what they say about each other or whatever, or how they really feel deep down inside about each other. They both, all 4 of them, put on good shows. Shields and Marshall stole the show. That was the best fight on the card, and it was great because it was the main event on top of that. The co-main event was a good one, but it wasn't what, the way people imagined the fight being. Okay. And then, she said she's going to knock out. Okay, Shields said she was going to knock out Marshall too. A lot of people say they're going to knock somebody out. And so what? What's the point? Okay? Why did the judges see it the way they saw it? You can sit here and go on forever. Let it go. It's over. Now, and like I said, salute to all of them. All 4 female fighters, all right? Tyson Fury. Look. Stop acting so shocked. Tyson Fury, he knows that nobody wanted to see him in Manuel Char. So juggling that name around, and then look at Deontay Wilder's, words about Helenius. He's on a 3-fight winning streak. Okay? So what did Manuel Char do? What is his winning streak looking like? The guy fought 2 times in 5 years. Why would he even be considered? Oh, because he called his name? Joe Joyce also called his name. Joe Joyce would annihilate Manuel Char. Joe Joyce will annihilate Derek Chisora. That's the fight that he wants. No, he wanted the Manuel Char fight because he knows that's an easier fight. But at the same time, guess what? The narrative that people are going to come up with, the bullshit excuse, yo, Derek Chisora, bring it though. He come to fight every time. You're going to get a war with Derek Chisora. Don't nobody want to see no goddamn Derek Chisora versus Tyson Fury 3. Nobody wants to see that crap. Tyson Fury just need to be honest and say, look, man, I just want an easy fight. Stay busy. And of course, I want to make the opponent, a subpar opponent, look like he's a great opponent. But then I talk down on the other top level fighters. Okay, let's not be stupid. There's no other heavyweight that he's going to fight and make the same money that he would fighting AJ. I don't want to see no goddamn Wilder versus Fury 4. And see, my thing, like what I said with Wilder, okay, he beat Robert Helenius. Whoopee. He was supposed to beat Helenius. We know why Helenius was put in front of Wilder. Okay? My whole thing is, if Wilder and Fury end up going fighting the fourth time. Who knows what the strategy is? Who knows? But if you get cakewalks into the neck to a big fight, and other people got to fight big fight to get to a big fight you understand? What does that look like? So when you look at the opponents, this is the same thing Fury tried to do before he fought Wilder the last time, and he was talking about how he's fighting with or without AJ. He wanted 2 fights before the year was over. He already had planned what he wanted to do. And this is AJ that was unified champion. So he basically wanted to make some easy extra money. He was not looking for a tough fight. Let's just say it like it is. Let's not play the stupid games. So Tyson Fury, instead of wasting everybody's time talking about how he retired, every time he's retired. No, he could have been putting together his strategy of, okay, I want to fight this guy, and this guy. Let's make the timetable work where we can get these quality fights in. That's what he could have been doing. And so, just like with Wilder, we want to see Wilder in there with the top guys. Who the fuck is Wilder fooling? He's about to be 37. If he's not, I thought the motherfucker was 37 already. But how much longer do you think Wilder got in this sport? And even him saying he wanted to fight till he's 40. Okay, so he just fought Helenius. If he does fight Andy Ruiz next, right? It's not going to be in 2022. So now you look at the timetable. How many times a year do you think Wilder's going to fight? So all that crying and trying to get the crowd invested in you and get people emotionally involved with you, and he's a great guy, man. Yeah, you know what? I was never a Wilder fan, but he got my respect. I think I like Wilder now. This is what all that stuff is designed for. We just want to see him in better fights. Because for someone to keep hollering Bomb Squad and bragging about how exciting they are in the heavyweight division need me to do what? Knock out Journeyman? Knock out Fury? Knock out Usyk? Knock out AJ? Knock out Dillian White? Knock out Daniel Dubois? Do that kind of shit. That's what we want to see. There's not no fucking Journeyman fights. That's the whole thing. Fury, no different in the sense this guy is trying to do nothing but take easy fucking fights. Because even though Dillian White is one of the top guys, well, Dillian White showed a lot of flaws and also showed he don't belong in the ring with Fury. His style, he doesn't know how to fight Fury. There's nothing that I see him doing different. And let me show you how shitty this fight is with him and Chisora. He already beat the motherfucker twice, convincingly. Nobody's even saying Derek Chisora has a puncher's chance to win. And also, right? How come there's no deadline with Derek Chisora? Why was Anthony Joshua given a deadline? Why were they trying to force and rush Usyk to hurry up and fight before he was ready? But Chisora doesn't have no deadline. He took his sweet time talking about this. Why he's not making videos talking about, well, Derek, you have until today to answer the Gypsy King if you want to fight at greatness and the WBC World Heavyweight Champion. Why he ain't doing all that shit to Derek Chisora? Why? And you mean to tell me the same man that pulled out the fight saying that, they purposely didn't want to sign a contract because he knew I was going to get tired of waiting, and he did it on purpose, and he stalled out and all this, and then going to turn around with this whole, you're disappointed that you didn't get the fight. You guys like to be bamboozled, and that's what happens to you. So more power to you on that. But understand something. Tyson Fury is a guy that manipulates people mentally. His little fanboys love everything he does. He can do no wrong. If you don't see through this whole situation, where this guy has the reputation that he has, considered the number 1 and number 2 best heavyweight in the world, and yet he basically has no problem with fighting subpar opponents. This guy actually had the nerve to think that people was going to be interested in him versus Manuel Charr. And I believe he got verbally roasted by that shit, and people, he knew, nah, this fight ain't gonna sell. People don't even know who the hell Manuel Charr is. And when they do find out who he is, they're gonna feel like, why are you fighting this guy? You tell Joe Joyce he needs to get his profile up. Did you tell Otto Wallin that shit? And that other meatball that you fought before Otto Wallin? Did you tell them that they had to get their profile up? If Joe Joyce is a nobody and he has to build his profile up, he's not well known, well, guess what? He's 37 years old too. So do you want to show down with this guy now while he's still sturdy like that, or do you want to wait for him to get a little older and Father Time starts kicking him up the ass? Because pretty much what I see with Fury, he tries to do everything on his own terms, on his own timetable. He told Derek Chisora when he was saying, send me a contract. Yeah, for me to sign the contract. He's like, you want the fight, sign the contract. He's like, yeah, well, for me to sign the contract, you have to send the contract. And you remember Derek Chisora says, okay, why don't I send you a contract? You can't afford my wages. Arrogantly, you can't afford my wages. Mister, I don't do this for the money. I don't care about the money. This guy is saying all of this bullshit because overall, he wants an easy fight. He wanted to do, instead of strategically planning who he wanted to fight as far as the timetable goes with quality fights. No, he wastes all this time putting energy into trying to make it look like he wanted fights with AJ and with Usyk. That's what he's trying to do. I don't care what you guys say. You can think AJ's running or Usyk's running. No, it's not them running from no fucking Tyson Fury. See, AJ signed the contract the first time they were supposed to fight. And he was the one that said 50-50 because I don't want Fury to give no excuse to not fight. But I can see y'all love lies. Y'all believe in lies. So, pretty much, that was his excuse, like I always said, to make it look like he wanted these top guys and they don't want him. We know what happened with the Usyk situation somewhat, but from my understanding, that Usyk is in the Ukraine. He's not even here right now. And that's probably why he wasn't that wildest fight. But regardless, remember I also said, can we even assure that we're going to get undisputed? So all this timetable where, oh no, because remember, he said he's not, remember, when they asked him, but certainly you want to fight Alexander Usyk. Not really, I have no interest. He's a nobody, no one knows him, they can barely say his name. He's a fine and all this stupid shit he was saying. Then all of a sudden, the following fucking week, now all of a sudden he wants to fight Usyk. The dude is coming and going. He can't make up his fucking mind what he wants to do. So, I'm telling you guys right now, I'm not going to be covering anything with him and Derek Chisora. As far, I like really, the build up and all that I can't. The most I'll do is, okay, Fury did what he was supposed to do and he won. But he didn't do what he was supposed to do because he should have never been there with Derek Chisora a third time. I don't care about this motherfucker getting a pension fight because that's all this is. A big payday for him. Great for you, Derek. But at the same time, what you want and what we want are two different things. So, this is a fight I'm just not interested in at all. And this is what I mean about supporting bullshit fights. Well, I don't know how many people are willing to turn out to go and watch this bullshit, but I'm getting so sick of hearing Derek Chisora comes and brings it every fight, blah, blah, blah. Okay, he managed to beat Pulev, and then all of a sudden now, ain't that something? He's in the title fight because he beat Pulev. Okay, AJ beat Pulev too. He knocked him out. Okay, he beat Pulev too. So what? And all they wanted to do was make sure the contracts were straight. Everything was, everything from the broadcaster standpoint and whatever. And now you come with all these ultimatums. But all of a sudden, Del Boy gets to just walk in, take his sweet little time. And, there's no real promotion for this fucking fight anyway. So it goes to show you it's a nothing fight. Tyson Fury will try to make Manuel Charr, Derek Chisora, Trevor Bryant, Bermain Stavern. He'll try to make all of them sound like they are top of the fucking line. That's what he will try to do. I think some of us got better sense though. Well, I know some of us do. But that's all this is. This is a fight I have no interest in. None. I have zero interest in this fight. Zero. whatever fireworks they may try to have at the press conference and shit talking and all, I really don't give a shit. I don't care for this fight. So I said all that to say this. When I made these videos earlier and I said, don't be shocked if this motherfucker fights Manuel Charr or Derek Chisora, because their names come out of Frank Warren's mouth. And what I mean, him pulling some shit to try to make it look like I said that these guys scared to fight him or whatever. Because his intentions initially, that's what he wants. He has no interest. He never had intentions on fighting Usyk or AJ. That's what all the deadline bullshit was about. He did the same thing to Usyk. You have until today, boys. Remember, he did the same thing, and they told him, man, look, there's no way we're going to be able to fight by the time you're talking about, man. Like, you know, Usyk sustained injuries. Don't rush us, man. We make the fight happen. Frank Warren himself, even with the AJ situation, there's no way the contract was going to be signed by the time, you know, Hearn and AJ got the contract. You know, this is Fury's doing. Then, of course, like I said, Fury probably chewed his ass out because all of a sudden he changed his tune a couple of days later and started, oh, these guys have the contract for it. It should not take this long and this and this. Right. Now, all of a sudden, everything's nice, dandy, and sweet. There's no pressure on Del Boy. Del Boy is desperate. He won a big payday, and that's pretty much the only good thing going to come out of that for Derek Chisora, because he's going to get his ass whooped the third time and pretty much sticking around. Why? Because now there's more money involved. That's it. And if you guys can't see through that, it's because you don't want to see through it. And it is what it is. So, I told you guys, it was going to be Derek Chisora or Manuel Charr. You watch what I tell you, because he is the one that's going to cancel the fights. Him. But he's going to blame AJ. He's going to blame Usyk. We know what Usyk said. But at the same time, it's one of these things where right after a fight, you want to, okay, let's try to rush and hit. No, to fit your skin. No, he never wanted to fight Usyk, and he never wanted to fight Anthony Joshua. And Usyk is not a social media guy. I want to go back and forth and keep saying, no. But at the end of the day, all of this talking that Tyson Fury was doing, see how quiet he's been now? I guess the next time he speak, it'll be for him to try to talk and make it seem like the fight just came up all of a sudden. No. And like I said to you guys, Del Boy was talking about he don't know what anybody's talking about. There's no fight between him and Tyson Fury scheduled. You know, they talked about it a little bit, but that's all it was talking. Nothing happened. People, understand something. When you have an ego and you feel like you can do whatever you want and get away with it, that's what people do. But understand, the power that they have is not given to them by the WBC, the WBA, the IBF, the WBO, the IBO, the ABC, the EFG, none of that. That power comes from us. And I'm not here to tell you not to support the fight. That's your business, what you do. But what I am telling you is you can't bitch about not having quality fights, but then support bullshit. I don't give a fuck about this might be the last time we get to see Tyson Fury on British soil. Big deal. What is he, some fucking god to you or something? I don't give a fuck about that. It all comes down to the choices that they make, who they want to fight. And basically, if they care about their so-called fans, if they are appreciative of the people that made them millionaires, it's the fans. It's not them. Because even investors have nothing to invest in if nobody's buying pay-per-view or showing up to the fights. If these people, I would not even feel comfortable trying to tell you guys that I even sparred with Manuel Charr. Like it was something special. It's Manuel Charr. So what I'm saying, people, it's funny how you say something and then the shit comes into fruition. And then people don't think, wait, damn, you said that shit too. Damn, you said that shit. Now people telling me, yo, Fury ducked AJ. Yeah, I know he ducked AJ. If you stop being a fan and be a man and look at what's going on, you'll see think without the influence of other people trying to pull you into something, you will see he never had intentions on fighting Anthony Joshua. He never had intentions on fighting Usyk. And if he does ever get in there with them, it's going to be when he's ready. It's something that he benefits from even more. That's why I said he need to go in there with and I wish it was Manuel Cho over Usyk. That he go in there and break his hand or something happen where he can't defend himself properly and lose the fight off of technicality, but lose. Don't quit. Fight the whole fight and lose. Just for the embarrassment. Because truthfully, this was a very deceiving move to the boxing audience. Say it how you want to say it, sugarcoat it, try to dance around it, I won't. This was a dirty move. And these fighters show you what they think about you just by their choice of fighters. And then they go into this, we're losing our lives in the ring, this is a grueling sport. Motherfucker, this is the fucking sport you chose. Nobody put a gun to your head and forced you, threatened your life to make you box. This is what you chose. The fuck is you talking about? You got people out here working 2 and 3 jobs trying to pay bills, trying to feed their families, exhausted. No quality time. Always work, pay bills, clean the house, wash clothes, right? Struggling like a motherfucker. You out here rich as fuck from a sport that you chose. And you acting like somebody owe you something. If we wasn't fucking watching you motherfuckers, you wouldn't have a fucking career. So when y'all come with that bullshit talking about, man, we losing our lives in the ring, you know what I'm saying? Man, ain't gonna know what it's like, never gonna know what it's like to be a father. What the fuck you crying for, motherfucker? It ain't happened to you. All of this shit that these fighters come up with to try, all that is they're lashing back out at us as a way to say, look at what we doing for a living. Motherfucker, I understand the fight game. I know what it's about. Yeah, I do. And that's why I'm telling you, all of you motherfuckers, y'all chose this shit. Boxing didn't choose you. You chose boxing. Man the fuck up and fight who the fuck you supposed to fight. Stop walking around here fighting meatballs but talking shit and comparing yourselves to an Ali or Mike Tyson or an Evander Holyfield or Lennox Lewis or Rocky Marciano, and y'all motherfuckers walking around here nitpicking with who you want to fight. The excitement is back. Ain't no heavyweight division without Wilder. And the only motherfucker on your resume is Fury. We give a fuck about you knocking out no Luis Ortiz or no fucking Arthur Spilker or no fucking Gerald Washington or no Bermane Stiverne or no motherfucking Robert Helenius. Who cares about them dudes? And all because you knocked out a fucking C-class, a C-class fucking fighter, a C minus at that. No, a fucking D plus. All because you knock out a fucking meatball. Somehow Usyk is afraid. Now Joe Joyce is afraid. Now Anthony Joshua's afraid. Everybody's afraid of Wilder now. Everybody's afraid of motherfucking Tyson Fury because Tyson Fury gives ultimatums to fighters that he don't really want to fight. But nobody see the bullshit for what it is. Talk to me in the comment section, y'all. Never fall in love with lies. Remember, the truth brings hate out of people, and I will catch y'all on the next video.